Hello, this is Todd Shank from Premier FPL. I'm going to be doing my Game Week 12 review. Um, just kind of look over my points, see how I did for the week, starting out with the official Premier League game here. Um, so as you can see, I picked up 77 points for Week 12, which is not sure if it's my best game week, but if it's not, it's definitely close to my best game week, at least for this season. So, managed to get all three of my forwards scoring goals, as well as goals for Gross in the midfield and Richarlison. So, um, yeah, really good that I did not have any subs come in, with Francis picking up the red card in the match, despite their uh, big 4-0 win. It would have been great if he did not pick up that red card. So, anyways, got to figure out what I'm going to do with him for game week 13. But anyways, so breaking down some of my points, left Ward and Loughton in. They picked up their clean sheets. Kiko Feminia picked up a clean sheet as well. And getting one of the bonus points. So he finally paid off for me. Had a stretch of game weeks, but did not do well at all. Just the 1 point in there, -1. But decided to stick with him. I mean, a lot of his underlying stats are decent. It's just, giving up some of these goals here in these other weeks really hurt his points for those weeks. Yeah, I was very happy that my forwards finally got some goals. Lukaku did not blank. I think that return of Pogba has been big for him. Sterling was disappointing. He was one that I did consider dropping, but then decided to go ahead and stick with him. He just got the extra point here for the clean sheet, but didn't really do a whole lot in that match. I think coming back from that injury did seem to affect him a little bit. But yeah, he is one that I am considering looking at making some changes in the coming weeks. De Gea giving up that goal thanks to Victor Lindelof and his slip kind of hurt his it hurt the clean sheet for sure, but hurt his points for the week. I think a clean sheet definitely would have gotten him max points in that match, but didn't really have a whole lot to do. It was just that one goal there. But the alternative was Elliott with 1 point. So, overall not too bad. I did move up, about 600,000 places. And got a nice boost on my points from last week. So, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this week. I definitely like to crack the top million here, but do have a chance to do that in the coming weeks with this Christmas break. Not well, for me it's a break, but for them, the Christmas period, going to be getting a lot of more chances for points in there. But something to think about preparing for ahead of time. I did actually just earlier today put out the fixtures planner for game week 13 and did a little bit of a write-up, trying to look at a few of the teams in there. So this is my fixtures planner, starting with game week 13, going through game week 23. You can take a look ahead there. Look at what's coming up and help you set your team there too, over at premierfpl.com. So yeah, that's kind of that's the breakdown for my game week. I feel pretty good about the team. Looking ahead for week 13, I haven't really made too many decisions. Burnley's facing off against Arsenal, so I have to make some decisions there about whether or not to start them. I have felt pretty comfortable with Burnley. I think that they are mostly a fixture-proof team. So yeah, probably will stick with them. It's just a matter of what I'm going to do with these three guys on the bench. I definitely want to make sure that I have starters, or at least players that play regularly, on my bench to prepare for the Christmas period coming up, because I think there's going to be a lot of rotation, especially with the City players, United players. Um, I don't know. I don't really foresee Chelsea doing a whole lot of rotation. Even Watford, Brighton, Burnley. I don't see these teams doing much rotation, but definitely these top teams like Man City and Manchester United. I think that those are the two that are going to do the most rotation as far as some of those players go. So as you can see here, the Christmas period is going to be coming up here. Game week 19 through 22 is what you want to look at. Definitely have a plan in place for how you want to approach that period of time. Um, for me, I am considering bringing in some Chelsea players. They have, especially after Liverpool, they have a whole lot of favorable fixtures that really even goes through the Christmas period, and I don't see Conte being doing too much resting of players even over this Christmas period. Crystal Palace looks like they're doing a little bit better recently. Might look at bringing in at least Zaha. Not really sure yet who else I want to look at, but yeah, I'll go over that a little bit more in my Week 13 preview, and I'm hoping to put that out. Not sure yet if I'll have time to put that out, but might try to do that tomorrow, Wednesday, or later Thursday. It is Thanksgiving Day for us here in the States, so I'll be spending time with family. Not sure if I'll have a whole lot of time to put out a video, but hoping to do something at least for Friday. So looking ahead to Friday, make sure that you do have a plan in place. They do have so if we look here, Game Week 13, they do have a kickoff Friday. I guess that's evening over in the UK. That's about 3 o'clock here where I am at on the eastern side of the states here. So definitely make sure that you have your team in place. That would be by, do a little bit of maths here. That would be by about 6 o'clock UK time, or 1 o'clock here in the States by Friday afternoon. Make sure that your team is in place so that you don't miss out on those matches. Last week I also did my daily fantasy preview, so pull up my DraftKings team here. I ended up finishing up my team. I really wasn't that happy with it. I made some decisions here at the last minute that really backfired. Jermaine Defoe, Joseph Gomez, both picking up 0 points. I think if I had really taken a little bit more time and picked some other players, definitely could have picked up a lot more points here. I ended up, I score 124th out of 200 teams, so not that great, but like I said, I think if I really would have thought about it a little bit more, taken the time to really go through my team, I'm not so sure I would have picked Defoe or Gomez. Maybe still would have picked Gomez, just because of his price point. So yeah, if you're into daily fantasy, there are plenty of sites out there that you can do that. I think, like I said before, I can't. I can only do the free games because of where I live in Pennsylvania. They don't allow for doing fantasy sports for money, which is disappointing, but that's just the way it is. Let's see. For Taga, if we take a look here at my Taga team, I'll say the one problem that I have, I don't really like the 12-team leagues as much. I prefer like a 10-team league. I feel like you can do a little bit more with those as far as making moves, especially in a league where you get one or two guys that don't play regularly. As you can see here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 teams that have made one or fewer moves. They're pretty much dead teams, and it gets frustrating because we try to put in a trade offer and it just doesn't go anywhere. And it gets frustrating when you lose a couple guys to injuries and try and make some trades, and people just aren't interested. So that is the problem with draft fantasy that has always frustrated me doing baseball, football. You get into the season and guys don't want to make any trades. But I guess that's part of what goes along with the territory of doing draft fantasy. You really have to do your planning to start and make sure that you pick the right players. So for me, I took a chance on Mkhitaryan, and he has been pretty much a flop for me this season. My game week 12 lost pretty badly. I started Yoshida instead of Bellerin. I really should have started Bellerin. That would have gotten me closer, but also, I mean, the other problem is I need to check for these matches and get my guys ready a little bit sooner. It's just that I don't always have time to get in there and do that. But Mkhitaryan not starting really hurt me, and really the only points I left on the bench were from Bellerin with his 10, and that really wouldn't have been enough to get me a win in this one at all. So yeah, it's just I've been pretty frustrated with my draft team. Started out really well when I had Mkhitaryan and Pogba both banging in the goals, and even Bailly picking up the clean sheet points, but now he's injured. So I guess we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I would still do recommend that you try to get into a league. Like I said, I prefer the 10-team leagues. I feel like there's a little bit more wiggle room. I have more fun when I'm able to do more moves, have people that are more willing to trade. Even if you're trading around players,